What's up, guys? Tonight is going to be a good one. We're going to continue talking about passive income, but really talk to you about how you can create passive income and ditch the 9 to 5. And I'm going to give you I'm going to break down tonight the steps to creating those. But before I do, welcome. I'm Joe Von Grichtem. Those of you that don't know me, I live here in Southern California, actually here in wine country, about 70 miles north of San Diego, 90 miles east of LAX, so downtown LA, right? So if you drew a triangle, we're at the point of that triangle, depending on how you draw the triangle. But our wine country is great here, and I would love to know where you're watching this video from, whether you're watching it on replay or you're watching it, excuse me, watching it live tonight. I'm going to be going back and forth between screens, so I apologize for that. But I'd love to know where you're from and where you're watching this. Tell me a little bit about where you're at as far as like something interesting. So, for example, like I said, I'm in Southern California, but something interesting is I live in wine country. We have over 70 wineries here, I believe now. Good wine, very comparable to both Central and Northern California now. We're pretty proud of our wines down here, but a great place to raise a family, great place to visit. There's not many places in the world where you can literally be skiing or snowboarding in the morning, surfing in the afternoon, and having a seafood dinner in a foreign country all in that same day. So we're pretty fortunate that way. But all right, as we get going here, I want to. I got people chiming in over here. So let's see if I got people watching. No, just notifications. So I understand how you feel. Many of you want financial freedom, but not willing to obviously work 24/7 to get it, right? The thought of starting an online business or starting a passive income stream is absolutely overwhelming because you don't know where to begin. It's all right. I completely understand this because I felt the same way. Right. The thing that always bugged me is like I always wondered how others were making thousands, hundreds, thousands, even millions of dollars online while I was just stuck trading time for dollars. Even when I started my own business, I was doing that, right? Because I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't set up my business properly to make it passive. I set it up, I created a job for myself, right? You don't want to do that, guys. So don't just start something and create a job for yourself. You want to have a passive business where you don't have to be there in order for it to make money, right? But the overwhelm quickly, it began to subside once when I started getting business coaches, and then when I started actually, doing more research on it, looking for more solutions. And the reality is you've got to automate, and digital marketing automation is the number one key. Period. And it's the secret sauce, guys. Right? Digital marketing automation has nothing, or it blows everything else out of the water, right? Because by setting up automated systems, you can have a business that's running for you 24/7 around the clock, generating passive income streams, if not one, maybe even multiples for you while you're doing the things that you want to be doing with the people you want to be doing them with. Like today, it's our daughter's 18th birthday. Our oldest, she turned 18 today. And the biggest bummer is my wife has a traditional 9 to 5, which I'm working to retire her out of. And she wasn't able to participate today in some of the activities we did. And that was a bummer, right? And that's why I'm building my business. And that's why I'm sharing this with as many parents as I can to help them, and busy parents at that, because maybe you are making, good money. You like your job, but it's just, you're sacrificing time that you're never going to get back with, your kids or your significant other, your spouse, whatever the case may be. Okay. All right. So tonight I said I'm going to give you the step-by-step guide. So I'm going to give you the step-by-step guide, and then we're going to go over some questions that you should be asking yourself, things that you should know about passive income. Um, and if you haven't asked yourself these questions yet, or you haven't done your homework, you should be asking them. I'm going to kind of give you some answers too, but we'll go through it step by step. So first and foremost, right, you have to pick a profitable niche or industry, right? And it's got to be something where you're solving a problem that people are willing to pay for. All right. A lot of times people create these cool businesses, unique ideas. I see it all the time on Shark Tank. I don't know. Do you guys watch Shark Tank? I love Shark Tank. I've been watching it since season one, and I love it. I watch it with my kids. They don't watch it with me as much as they used to when they were younger, but they love it. And to be honest, our oldest, our 18-year-old, when she was like 7, 8 years old, she created her own business, and I helped her build it. We built her website and built. It was a bracelet making company, and she did. She taught people how to make them, and then she would make them. Her and our neighbor were making them to raise like $800, because if they got to $800, that would be enough money for them to split, pay for the business, and go and buy the things that they wanted to save up for. It was really cool. It was a really cool experience. And it was a lot of fun, but it wasn't necessarily a major problem, right? It wasn't necessarily a scalable business. It was a fun business. And they got to learn a little bit about how to set up their own businesses and take ownership and be accountable and capable. But when I talk about picking a profitable niche, you want to be within three different industries. You want to be either in health and wellness, you want to be in technology. What does digital marketing fall under? Digital products fall under technology a lot of times. All right. Or finance, right? All three of those you can have digital products in, right? You can have ebooks, you can have courses, and we'll get into that here in a second. But you want to make sure that you're in one of those three industries. Those are the top three fastest growing industries right now. And you just want to find a product that solves a problem out there for people that people are willing to pay for. Okay. The second thing is you need to set up and automate your business. You do not want to be stuck in your business, right? Doing what I did 20 years ago when I started my first business. And I was so excited to leave the business, but little did I know, I just created another job for myself. The difference was is instead of just working, 9 to 5 at my regular corporate America job, I was working 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, don't get me wrong. When you're starting a business, you're going to have to put in some effort. You're going to have to put in a little extra effort. I'm not saying that that's not going to happen. What I am saying though is you want to make sure that you're building a business that's passive, so that you need to be there as little as possible, or your activity needs to be as minimal as possible, so that your business is working for you 24/7. Okay. And you let things like automated email sequencing. So when you sign up for a newsletter or whatever, and you start getting emails, and they're walking you through a sales process, you don't even realize it, to get you to ultimately say yes to buying their product or service. Set that up, right? So you've got your funnel where people put their email in, and you take them through the sales process. Instead of doing it nose to nose, toes to toes like we used to do in the olden days, now you can automate it, right? So while you're sleeping, or like me, where I was celebrating today with our new 18-year-old, getting to spend time with her and some other family, today, having lunch and doing some other activities that were really fun. I knew that my business was working for me on the back end, and I didn't have to worry about it not being there and not being able to make any money, kind of thing, because the reality is the automations are already there. They're working for me. Okay. You need to consider how you're going to drive traffic. All right. Now, some people use paid ads. My recommendation is if you build it organically, meaning if you use social media and you're consistent with it for 6 to 9 months, even 12 months, in a year, you're going to have a very loyal following, right? And the reality is when you pay to get people to follow you, they're not necessarily the most loyal people. It just means you're getting maybe to a purchasing or a buying decision quicker. All right. You're finding your audience a little faster. Now you can do both. However, my recommendation is, and always will be, build it organically. Use social media marketing. Do lives like this. Use free classified ads. They're all over the place. There's so many things you can do, and because your system's automated, all you got to do is get them there, have them put their email in, and then the system does the heavy lifting for you. Right? So your days are consumed by very little amount of time to just get people to get to your opt-in page, put their email in. Okay. All right. Now, what do you want to, what do you want to sell? Well, obviously I've already kind of given it away. And if you're here watching, you've seen one of my videos before. It's digital is the way to go. Digital marketing is the secret sauce, period, the end, right? Digital products and services. Why? Because there's very low overhead. They cost, little to nothing to set up, create, whatever the case may be, right? And they're scalable. They can be delivered anywhere in the world that has internet, right? So really, really cool. So you can have things like courses. You can have ebooks. You can have memberships or communities that you can build, right? Where they're paid communities. And then once you've got this all set up, it's time to optimize and scale, right? Now, when I say optimize and scale, some of you may say, well, gosh, Joe, how do I do that? Well, easiest way is you're using social media marketing. You're posting things on social media. Every one of them offers analytics. If you're using a business account like you should be, then they're going to offer you the analytics that you need. You'll see the, the type of viewers that you're getting, their age demographics. You'll see where they're at in the world. You'll see what topics they engage you the most. And then you can scale the efforts accordingly, right? But the biggest thing to create success, period, the end, when we're talking about setting up a passive income stream, is you have to be disciplined and consistent with it. You have to do the same thing, right? Over and over and over again. It's not sexy. It's fun, right? But you got to do the same thing over and over again as far as getting into that routine, training the algorithms on the internet and on the social media platforms to put your content in front of the right people so that you can engage the right people. Okay. And it takes time to do that. So you got to do it over and over again, right? So that you can actually optimize and scale. You get data back, you get those analytics, you look at them and you can see what's working. The other thing you track is how many emails are you getting in that are new each week? And then figure out, okay, for every 20 emails I get one sale. All right. Once you know those numbers and have those metrics, then you can start scaling accordingly. You can scale your efforts. Okay. Really, really powerful. So those are the 5 steps that you need in order to set up a passive income stream that you need to use to pick your niche, to automate, to drive traffic. You now understand the products that you can sell. Make sure they're, like I said, they're digital. You will thank me 10 ways to Sunday and twice on Sunday for that. Courses, ebooks, memberships, communities, things that don't cost a lot of money, if any overhead at all. Okay. Now we've talked about, what is passive income. We've talked about, how you can start earning passive income. Obviously the fastest way is using digital marketing products. Is my recommendation. Ebooks, courses are huge right now. They're, but I will tell you this, the difference between people that are successful doing it and people that aren't are the ones that get on and they just sell. So just because you have a passive income stream that you want to feed, it doesn't mean people want to be sold. any more than they did, yesterday or the day before. People like to be enrolled, right? They like to feel that you understand them, where they're coming from, that you've experienced something similar, and that you have the solution for them. Okay. The storytelling. It's really, really important. Okay. So we've talked about, in the last couple of days, I've talked about some of the other passive income streams you'd like. Digital products and affiliate marketing are huge. Those two go hand in hand, because what happens while you're building your digital marketing business, your digital product you have, whether it's an ebook, a course, a membership, whatever the case may be, you're building an email list. Once you have that email list, that is gold. You own that list, and you can send out emails to that list for other affiliate partnerships you have that, can help them out, that can add more value into their lives, into their businesses, whatever the case may be. Okay. So affiliate marketing is the next step, right? You've got print on demand stores. So, once you've built the brand nice and big and strong, you can start doing print on demand. You could do hats and clothing and all that good stuff. And who's going to buy it? Your email list that you've been building, right? You can do drop shipping as well. I'm not a big fan of drop shipping, but it is definitely something you can set up and make it passive. But real estate investing, having a portfolio of a couple rental properties that you can either rent, or you can do share rentals, or you can do like Airbnb, or something along those lines. Those are great passive income streams, but they take money. That's why I say always start with a digital product, because it can grow and scale big and strong. Now you have an email list that you can market to, right? And you have the money to actually invest into real estate or into dividend stocks that I've talked about before, where the dividends get paid out, usually typically once a quarter, maybe sometimes, only twice a year, maybe only once a year, but you get paid. And there's people that make money, passive income, by owning either shares of those dividend stocks or fractional shares. Like on Robinhood, you don't have to buy a full share anymore. You can buy a fractional share, or Webull, or all those other places that are offering that now. Okay. I think actually a lot of the houses are offering. Right. So a lot of people ask, how much money, Joe, do I need to start a passive income stream? Well, that's up to you. It depends, because you could actually go get on ChatGPT right now. You can go and create an ebook, take all the text, go over to Canva, lay it out in Canva. Now you got an ebook in a PDF format. You set up a PayPal account, or Stripe, or a Square account, or whatever payment processor you want to use. And now you can go out, and all you got to do is market, get traffic and eyeballs to see that ebook and come and buy. And then you can expand, and you can create a course off of that. You can create a community off of that. There's so many things you can do off of it, because once you've got an email of buyers, email list of buyers, you can expand and add more value for them, right? But how much money do you need? That's up to you. But you can start with as little as zero up front. Okay. My personal business that I sell, I allow people can make payments. They can set up to make, installment payments. So it's pretty cool. And it just depends on where they're at. I sell 4 different digital programs, ranging from $100 to $900. And you can make payments on all 4 of those if you wanted. The cool thing is, you buy the higher end one, you get access to all of them. So something for you to think about. How long does it take to build a passive income stream? This is something that is very, very important. I think a lot of people miss the boat on, is everybody comes in and they've heard me rah and talk about passive income and how great it is. But the reality is they don't have 100% intention. They just are chasing dollars, right? They're not committed to the process. They're not committed. They don't have 100% intention. And so when you're creating a passive income stream, it will vary from method to method. Okay. And it can take, sometimes it can take months. Like affiliate marketing and digital marketing, it can take a few months to build it properly. But once it starts, then it creates a snowball effect, right? While other investments like dividend stocks and, real estate, things like that, they may pay out quicker, but you got to have more capital up front in order to set them up. Okay. And of course, the $1 million question: can passive income really replace a 9 to 5 job? Yeah, I see it all the time, right? I work with teachers, executives, engineers, people that have done just about everything under the sun all the time, and their only statement about setting up a digital marketing business and setting up a passive income stream is, I just wish I would have done it sooner, right? So I didn't waste, I didn't, invest. They don't look at it as investing. They look at it as they sacrifice a lot of time and precious memories, you know. So yeah, yes, it can replace it. How fast it will scale, that's entirely up to you. So, what are the biggest mistakes that people make with passive income? Again, expecting instant results. It's not that it's not impossible. You can. And actually, our business, we have a blueprint. It's a 7-day launch to profit blueprint, and people are doing it before people are ready to buy from them before they've set their site up. Sometimes, right? So it's pretty cool. The second thing is, it's hard to have a passive income stream if you're not automating, right? And automating the process. The other thing is reinvesting your profits, right? Reinvest it in your community. Reinvest your profits, not all of them, obviously. You got to take it, you got to live, but reinvest some of it to expand your product offering, right? Maybe to, add to you being even more removed from the business, things that you normally do. You can hire somebody to do that by reinvesting your profits into hiring somebody to do that for you. Okay. And the next one is probably one of the biggest ones, which is just giving up too soon. The old miners, I always think of the miners. I don't know if you've ever seen the picture. If you go and Google and say miners digging and quitting before they get to the diamonds. So there's these 2 tunnels and these 2 miners, and they're picking away. And here's one just hammering away, still got a long ways to go before he gets to the diamond. And then there's one right above him, and he's like literally on the brink of breaking through into those diamonds. Sorry, guys, I got my windows open in my office. He's ready to break through into those diamonds and realize everything that he's been working towards, and he quits. And he's literally right there. Like the next swing of his pickaxe would have opened up the wall of rock and dirt and whatever else there was there, so that he could get access to all the diamonds, right? It's a cool analogy, but that's what happens a lot of times. People quit and give up far too soon, right? It happens all the time in everyday life. Okay. A lot of people wonder why they don't have the life they want. It's usually because they've given up on their hopes and dreams long before, they should have ever given up, right? They just didn't have that intention. Do you need to have technical skills to create passive income? Not necessarily. In my business, we have a done for you program. So all of your funnels, your automations, your emails and everything are all done for you. You just have to go in and link your domain and hook up your email and hook up your payment processor. And then your funnels are done. Your system is all done. All you have to do is start perfecting your income producing activities, which we have a 2-hour blueprint that we follow, a 2-hour day. And I'm working on perfecting that right now. Okay. So you don't need to have technical skills in a lot of cases. Some you don't need to have any at all. Some you need to have a little bit, right? With our company, you don't. So what's the fastest way to making passive income? I've already talked about it. Sell a digital product. ebook right now. You can get off of this. You can go and search something you're passionate about on ChatGPT or on Google, figure it out. If you like to fish or fly fish, you can go and create an ebook on, how to become a fly fisherman in 7 days or something like that. And you can go and create it in ChatGPT, ask it to write out certain things, what you know about fly fishing, what you're passionate about, and then it can flush out the rest for you. That can probably take an hour, 2 hours, and then you can go over to Canva and start pasting it in. Or there's other tools out there that'll help you lay it out even faster. And within a few hours, you can have a book ready to sell, an ebook, a digital book. Okay. Affiliate marketing. The cool thing is when you've sold a product, say, for example, you sell an ebook on fly fishing, right? Or maybe you sell like I do, where it's a digital marketing program. The cool thing is that not necessarily everybody buys, but the email list that I'm building, maybe one of the affiliate products that I represent will help them with their business or whatever I'm trying to help people with. Okay. And then of course, renting out your property through Airbnb, or Airbnbs, share rentals, that type of thing, are very, very, those are the 3 fastest ways I know to create money passively, passive income streams. Okay. And then scaling, how do you scale passive income streams? Again, automate as much as possible. Your email, you can set up in ChatGPT, you can create email sequences. You can say, do a 7-day follow-up email series. It'll spit it out for you. You go and paste it in, and then it automatically goes out accordingly. My company, we actually already have templates already done for you. All you have to do is go in and put them in your email campaigns. Okay. Again, reinvest your profits into, automating more, replacing yourself even more. Okay. And then of course you want to diversify. You don't want to keep all your eggs in one basket. As things expand, as your brand expands, maybe from an ebook to a course to maybe a mastermind or online community that's paid. Okay. You can create all of those. Again, then you can take those profits. And then, for example, like if you had a fly fishing ebook that you started with, maybe your goal would be to have like a fly fishing destination where people come and stay, and they get guided fly fishing tours. All right. Maybe they come there and learn how to fly fish. I don't know. Right. Sky's the limit, but you can always diversify. And make it as passive, always have passive and automated in mind, right? If you're going to be present, then the price tag needs to go way up because your time is valuable, right? All right. So we're at 28 minutes now. I've shared with you the steps that I recommend for setting up a passive income stream. I've gone over some more questions. What I'd like to know from you are 2 things. One is, what are the questions you still have about passive income streams that I haven't answered? I'd love to know, because I want to be able to get those questions answered for you. So please, whether you're watching this on replay or watching it live, I'd love to know. Love to know what questions I can answer for you that I haven't already answered, right? And 2, for those of you that are ready and want a step-by-step guide to creating a passive income stream, then simply type ready in the comments, and I will get you information ASAP so you can get going with our program, all done for you, no technical skills necessary, so that you can ditch that 9-to-5 job, start creating money while you're sleeping, while you're hanging out with your kiddos, while you're at a soccer game, a baseball game, a football game, you're traveling with your family, traveling with your beautiful significant other, whatever the case may be, right? Because passive income is the secret. It is the secret sauce. It is the blueprint. You just have to choose whether or not you're ready to do it right now. And if you are, type ready in the comments, and I will get you that information for your Freedom Formula blueprint. Until then, take care, guys, and I will look forward to seeing you at the next live. Take care. Bye-bye.